guys, it's Sammy with Unicorndustdesigns, where we do wood signs and DIYs. Today I am actually going to be doing a red, white, and blue challenge for the Heidi Sonboul challenge. Duh. So I hope you guys like what I create. It is super easy. It's a mix of supplies from Dollar Tree, Michael's. It was just things that I had on hand at the moment. So if you have any questions, please comment down below. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and let's get started. Okay, here's our first DIY. We are using the USA and the Star Decor from the Dollar Tree. And these little white wood slat thing pieces I got from Michael's. They were on clearance. I've had them in my basement forever. Had no idea what to do with them until voila, it came to mind what I needed to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put some E6000 on these along with hot glue so we can get an instant hold on those. And the E6000 is going to allow this to like hold very well because I am going to be placing it vertically, not horizontally. So I definitely need that secured hold on there. And then we are going to go ahead and take some popsicle sticks because we want that security. We don't want it going anywhere. And then we're going to take off the hardware. I keep all of the hardware. You never know when you're going to need it. And I mean, it's basically free hardware when you think about it. So you could use that on another project. And then we are going to place another popsicle stick right there. And this thing isn't going anywhere. I did let it dry for quite some time before playing around with it. And now here's Hanky, you guys. Everybody loves seeing Hank. I think more than me, to be honest. He's such a lover. And you guys, this is sped up, so he will do this for like 10-15 minutes just laying on my lap. Does a nice little stretch. There we go. He don't care about my time. He's like, hello, I'm here. Okay, you don't want to pay attention. Okay, so getting back to the sign. We're going to put the USA, and they fit perfectly in these squares, but the star does not. So I needed to figure out a way to raise the star. So I get a popsicle stick and I cut it into little squares, and I'm going to go ahead and hot glue those together to create a little riser for that star to kind of be lifted out of the square. I knew that if I just put glue on the points, there was no way it was going to have longevity. So this is the route I used, and it turned out great. And I am just going to hot glue all of these pieces down. Eventually, maybe. The hot glue holds this great. I didn't use any E6000 on this. I mean, you can if you'd like to, just so you have added security to your sign, but it ain't moving. It isn't going anywhere. So the hot glue works just fine. And you guys, for this S, pay attention. I don't know if I'm tripping or not, but I feel like one side is smaller than the other. So I don't know. You tell me. Is there a side that's bigger than the other? Because it felt like it. All right, so we're done with that. You guys, this sign was easy. That was it. I was like, whoa, that's already done. And look at how beautiful it looks on that mantle. I love the height it gives the mantle. And I love, you can't really see it in here, but the sparkles are gorgeous. All right, DIY number 2, we're taking 3 5x7 canvases, some printables. I just found these, I think on Pinterest or Google, I'm not sure, but they were free printables and I printed them out. And initially I chose them for the vibrancy of the color, but that ends up not mattering. Now we're going to cut those down. You don't have to make them exactly 5x7 and you'll see why. Now we are going to make them look old and vintage. So we're crumbling them up. And I'm doing this because I want them to look worn. I want them to look like they were found in somebody's attic and have been sitting there for ages. And then we're going to put them on cookie sheets and take a hot pot of black coffee and we're going to pour that over there, and we're going to leave them in there for about 5 minutes or so. As you can see, the color comes up on these, so yeah, that's why I say the color doesn't matter. Then we're going to pour the excess coffee out. And I don't know if it would have been any different if I would have just let the paper set for 24 hours since I had just printed them. And then we're going to take a paper towel, and I'm just blotting the excess coffee off of these. Just like that. And make sure to pat on the actual papers too. Then we're going to put them in the oven at 200 degrees for about 5 or so minutes. Just make sure you keep checking on it. You don't want to start a fire or anything. These took me at least 8 minutes or so. And this is what they look like when they come out of the oven. They're dry, they're kind of crispy, and they look old, and I love it. Now, we're taking our canvases. I've never tried this before, but it actually worked out great. And I'm taking my stain, which is Worn Navy, Barn Red, and I forget what the brown one's called. And you guys, there's no rhyme or reason for what I'm doing on these canvases stain-wise. Really, you only have to do like the outer part of it if you don't want to waste product, because you're not going to even see the middle of it once you put your pictures on the canvases. So just keep that in mind. And I'm going to repeat this step for all 3 of them. And I did leave them to dry for a few hours because they had like a sticky residue on them. So I just wanted to make sure they were dry and that the Mod Podge didn't make it all weird. Okay, so those are dry. We're going to go ahead and take our prints. And I am tearing the edges off of these because, like I said, I want them to look worn. I want them to look old. I do not want them to look nice and neat at all. So I do that with all 3 of them. And then we're going to get our Mod Podge. And you guys, this big bottle, go to Michael's when they have a 50% off coupon and buy it. I've had this for a very long time. And of course, you could get the small ones at Dollar Tree. So now I'm applying that to the canvas, sticking the paper on, and then Mod Podging over. I do advise, which I did with the next 2, is Mod Podging the canvas and the back of the piece of paper, and then placing onto the canvas and Mod Podging over it, if that makes sense. I feel like it gave it just a little smoother finish instead of being so wrinkly, which I didn't mind because I wanted to look old. And then just repeat that with all 3. I let these dry. I did use the heat gun on them, and then I let them dry naturally for 24 hours. Now, because I'm extra, I'm going to add some beads. These were natural wood beads that I just put on twine, literally held them up, and then spray painted them gold. And I am just finding my center point right here, and then the rest of them, I'm kind of going ham and eyeballing it so it doesn't have to be perfect. And my idea with these was these would be great pieces for tiered trays, fillers on mantles, your bookshelf, just little spaces where you just need a little oomph, And I think these beads add like a regal look to them, like make them look a little bit fancier, especially because these ladies on here are so fancy and beautiful. And so I repeat that, and I do different like bead styles on each one. I didn't want them all to be the same at all. So you guys, as you'll see too, this tan one is probably my favorite one. But as I was decorating my mantle and like moving things around over and over again, I legit dropped this about 8 times. And finally, by the 8th time, 2 of the beads broke off. So I have to hot glue this back on, and then I will reuse it. So just finishing up this one. Which one's your favorite after you guys see them, you guys? I wish I would have held this one up, the tan, because, oh, there we go. Because the tan one I think is my favorite. Let me know which one's your favorite, the red, the blue, or the tan.
I think the blue.
Everett, my son, says he thinks the blue.
Yeah, because blue my favorite color.
Yes, it is. Sorry, my son is down here. Mom life to the fullest. All right, and then here we go. This is the blue and the red one displayed on my dresser top, which I absolutely love. All right, this is our third DIY, which is super duper duper easy. These are done with the Dollar Tree flags and the 5-gallon stir sticks from Home Depot, which come in a pack of 3. I am going to iron this. Yes, iron. They do not have to stay wrinkly, you guys. I cannot stand when they are wrinkled. I set my iron to synthetic fabric, and I'm even pressing hard on this, and it's hot, and it does not melt. It doesn't damage the sign. It doesn't leave any weird imprints. It turns out great. So, word of advice, iron those puppies. So for the paint sticks, you guys, I cut these down with my miter saw at 14 inches, which it tells you where 14 inches is on these. I find that it's the perfect size for these flags. I do them for every season almost. I did a lemon one, which turned out so cute too. And then I'm using my Rust-Oleum linen chalk paint, and I'm not fully covering them. I do want them to look a little distressed, so I'm using my chippy brush and just vastly going over them, and I do that for all 4. And then we're going to take our Waverly Antique Wax, and I'm going to dry brush on these. And for these, keep in mind you only have to do 2, whichever pieces are going to be sticking facing outwards. Those are the only 2 that you technically have to dry brush. So I don't want you guys to waste your product, because I ended up doing all 4 of these, which you don't have to do. So I'm going to continue to do all 4 because I'm a weirdo. I think about these things after, you know, I'm like, oh, maybe I didn't have to do that. Maybe I should tell them that. And so we're going to go ahead and let those dry, which is really fast. And I usually use my heat gun to speed up the process so I could keep these going while the kids aren't bothering me. Like right now. He's trying to play with my hula hoop right now. Okay, now we're getting the twine. I have used the white ones before, which are perfectly fine, but I wanted to use twine since I was using wood and all that stuff. I just wanted it all to be cohesive. And I keep that plastic tube in there so that it will go through a lot easier. And then I'm going to remove the tube. The tube cannot stay in there as you are going to be gluing the 2 wood pieces together. There we go. Cut it off. And now I'm going to take the wood pieces, and we're going to place 1 on the bottom, hot glue. Come on. There we go. And I measure them just because I want them to be even, but you guys can eyeball it too. And make sure your twine is where you want it, because sometimes the hot glue will seep in and you won't be able to move it later. And then I'm going to hot glue another piece on top of that. And that's going to be your top. And then we're going to go ahead and repeat it on the bottom. Now I want you guys to know, not all Dollar Tree flags are even. So when I start doing the bottom of this sign, I did cut a lot of it out because I was like, why isn't this even? I know it's even up top. I know I measured it. I know, and I just could not get it. Well, it's because the flag itself is not even and straight. But we made it happen. And here's how it looks. Absolutely beautiful. And this is our last project, you guys. This is going to be super cute. So I'm going to use Waverly Ocean Chalk Paint. You guys, I wish I would have got more of these sign things from Dollar Tree. They're awesome. And I only grabbed 3, and now I can't find them anywhere. So I was like, oh, that came off super duper easy. Save that because you'll need it for another project. It did have a lot of glue, so I took some Dollar Tree sandpaper. It comes in a really big pack, and they're pretty good pieces. I take as much of it off as I can, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint this entire piece with some chalk paint. And I cover this. You guys, if it wasn't this sign, that buffalo check on the outer rim would have been so cute. But I do cover it, so don't kill me. But that would have been a cute idea for another sign, like a Christmas sign or something. If I find more of these, I'm totally going to buy them. And I'm noticing already that, well, one, you're going to have to do a second coat. And two, that the glue residue, like where the glue was, is still showing. So here's me. I'm finishing up my second coat of chalk paint. And again, like I said, like you're going to see where that glue was, no matter what. So keep that in mind. I don't know if all of them are like this, but this one definitely was, but I figured I'm covering it anyways. So see how you could see all those lines. So this was, I think, what, a planter stick. I got E6000, put it on all the raised ridges, and then I also took hot glue because I wanted that immediate hold on it. And you guys, as you will see, I stick this on, and I'm confident it'll hold because it has those ridges on it which pop out, which will touch the sign. But this thing does not hold. It does not work at all. It just falls right off. I could pick it up. It doesn't matter. So learn from me and don't do that. I don't know what is going on, you guys. But okay, so here I'm trying it again, adding more hot glue. Still doesn't work. I don't know why I tried it again like it was gonna make any difference. But I do end up trying this again, and I am going back in at this point with an extra piece of a paint stir stick, and I am going to attach that piece to my truck, and then I take hot glue and basically douse it on like the sides of the stick, as you can see right here, because I mean nothing wants to stick to this truck, I tell you. But it did, you guys. It worked. And now I have to touch up because I had hot glue all over this and it peeled up the paint. But this ended up working great, you guys. I'm so glad that I keep everything and keep scraps. Anybody else like that? I always think there's a use for something at some points. And now I'm going to go ahead and E6000 and hot glue because I do not want this puppy to fall off randomly. And let me tell you, I dropped this quite a few times while I was trying to decorate my mantle, and it didn't go anywhere. Not at all. So it's on there for good. And now I'm just touching up those pieces that I kind of nicked. You guys, if you don't have a heat gun, get one. They're awesome. Found this one on Facebook Marketplace. And now I'm taking a decal I made, and this one just says God Bless America in white vinyl. And I'm going to place that on there, give it a little something extra, especially because we have all of that space. You might as well utilize it, right? And love this. I love how it turned out. Of course, my transfer paper was sticking hardcore to this, and I did not want it to scratch or peel up the chalk paint, so I had to be super careful. But I do love how the wording and the placement came out. And then we're going to go ahead and get a bow. So this one, I was trying to use it. It was one I already had made, way too big. So I was like, all right, got to start from scratch. So this ribbon is from Dollar Tree. I think it's like 1.5 inches. I cut them in half, and then I cut the ends off. And for this bow, you're just doing crisscross, horizontal, crisscross, horizontal. And then we are taking some twine and tying it up in the middle. These are the easiest bows. They're even easier when you're using fabric or ribbon that isn't stiff like this. Like this one is really stiff ribbon. So it's like a burlappy. If you guys did not find this at Dollar Tree, I am sorry because it is so, so pretty. And then we are just taking that twine that we tied it up with, and I'm just wrapping it around the bow, and it makes it look a little bit more rustic, which I love. And then we are going to hot glue that to our sign. And ladies and gentlemen, we are not done there, because if you watch my videos, you know how extra I am. And I have to add more. Well, that, and I thought this was going to be like a stand-up sign, but with the weight of the truck on there, you can't stand it up. So I get the drill out, and I'm going to drill some holes in this, and we are going to use those beautiful wood beads. I got mine, I think, at Joann's with a coupon. You guys, with this twine, put some Scotch tape around it. It will go in so much smoother. And especially when you are doing beads, it makes the beads go through a lot more smoothly as well. So I'm just kind of measuring out, eyeballing it. And then I use 3 of like the medium size and 3 of the small, just to change up the wooden bead look a little bit, add more depth to it. And I love it. I didn't paint these or anything. I just used the natural wood. And you guys, this sign comes out looking like a Hobby Lobby sign. I swear, it is so cute. You hardly see any of that, like the glue residue I told you about, because it's pretty much covered by everything that we put on there. And then I'm going to finish this off. I'm gonna put it through the hole, tie it off, and I can't wait for you guys to see it because it's absolutely adorable. And you guys, I am so sad. I took a picture of this, but I cannot find anywhere that it goes in my house, like hanging wise. So isn't that cute? All right, let's recap. So this is what it looks like. Look at, oh my gosh, you're so cute. I love you. And here is, I love these. Let me know what you guys think. There is a tutorial on that wreath as well that I got from the Dollar Tree. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys learned a couple things, and drop a comment down below letting me know which one was your favorite. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos, and let me know what you want to see. I am game for anything. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.